Hi, fans of high quality entertainment. It's time again for me to talk about 10 albums that are in my CD collection that I feel are perfect. And these aren't ranked or anything. I've done two other videos and I'm hoping I might at some point repeat an album, but I don't think I've talked about any of these in the other two videos. So they're not ranked. The first one, in 1972, when I was 14, I bought an album by this band and I became a fan. I was almost obsessed with them. And then I bought the previous album that had come out, and I loved it even more than the first one that I heard. And it still is my favorite album by Uriah Heep, Demons and Wizards. And yeah, I was a fan for a couple of years. I never bought Sweet Freedom or even the live album, even though I was dying to buy it. But, when you're 14, you don't have much money. But I did buy Wonder World and a couple of others. And I think the last one I bought was High and Mighty, which with the singer that replaced David Byron. And after that, I lost interest in them. Not that they're still recording today, and I know that they put out some very good albums. But Demons and Wizards, I consider a perfect album. Now, this artist, I hadn't heard any of his solo albums a few months back. But in the last few months, after hearing this album, I now have his entire discography for studio albums. And this is still probably my favorite of his. It is Paul Weller with Stanley Road. You do something to me. Ba-ba-ba-ba-bum. Thank you. This band has a few albums that I consider perfect because I'm such a big fan of theirs. But this might be my all-time favorite album of theirs. And they just released a new song yesterday that I reacted to. And they have a new album coming out later this month. And I'm seeing them in Toronto, July 3rd, second year in a row with Molly. July 3rd. And it is Sparks with Indiscreet, produced by Tony Visconti. Favorite songs are Hospitality on Parade, Without Using Hands, Under the Table with Her, Tits. It's a song. It Ain't 1918, In the Future, Miss the Start, Miss the End, basically the whole album. So that's 3. Now this one, I had bought a box set of most of their albums a year or two ago, and I enjoyed it, but I realized, you know what, I just like their early stuff. And so I ended up selling the box set. But a kind viewer, without knowing I'd bought the box set, asked me if he could send me this album. And I said, yes, please, because it's my favorite album by this band. Cheap Trick. This is actually a bit heavier than their later stuff, and it's my favorite album of theirs. That's why, I guess. And my favorite song of theirs is on this, The Ballad of TV Violence, I'm Not the Only Boy. 6 more to go. This album, somebody just recently, hi Jacob, on Facebook, was messaging me a little bit and asked if I was religious. And I said, no, I'm not religious, but I'm spiritual. And then after, he wrote back just today and he was asking if he could send me some scripture. And I said, no, thank you. And he was fine with that. You know, everybody has their beliefs or non-beliefs. Like I said, I'm spiritual, and I guess that's why I kind of connect with this album by Bob Dylan. Slow Train Coming. The guitar work by Mark Knopfler is just so good. But I know some people don't care for Man Gave Names to all the animals. It's kind of like Yes's Circus of Heaven. It's childish. It's kind of a children's song in a way, but I think it's cute, and I've always really liked it. But my two favorite Bob Dylan songs were on this: I Believe in You and Precious Angel. Yeah. Bob Dylan. 1, 2, 3, 5 to go. And I just wanted to also mention, because I got to get this out of the way, is people message me every day on Facebook or Instagram, Twitter, and on YouTube. I'm not talking about comments. I'm talking about sending me direct messages. And sometimes they want to have like a conversation back and forth. And as some of you know, I'm in chronic pain, and I have tendonitis in my hands, so I can't do a lot of typing. So just please realize I always try and respond to a message, but I just can't continue a conversation back and forth with people. I'm not a snob. I feel I'm a nice person. So just please respect that I can't message back and forth. Okay. Thank you. Thank you very much. But I'm not talking about friends like Robert's on my turntable or Glenn Kellaway from the basement, people that I know, in person or sort of in person. I'll message them back and forth. And Molly, mostly. I have to message her or I'm in trouble. Okay, 5 to go. This one, I was going to pick another album, a later album of theirs, which is perfect. And when I first heard this, I only liked a couple of songs. But I now love every song on this. It's perfect. It is the Electric Light Orchestra, their second album. With my favorite song, Yami. I can never say that properly. My Yami. Yami. Something like that. In Old England Town, Boogie Number 2, Mama, Roll Over Beethoven, and From the Sun to the World, Boogie Number 1. I love the whole album. And the other album I was going to talk about was El Dorado, which I might in a future episode. Now, this artist sadly gets a lot of flack. I understand people that don't like her music. It's fine. But it just bothers me that sometimes I think, have you actually really listened to one of her albums? Or is it just because everybody else is saying negative things about her? This is a double album, and I seriously think it's one of my all-time favorite double albums, along with this one and the Beatles' White Album and a few others. It would be in my top 10 for sure. It is Yoko Ono, Approximately Infinite Universe. And it's all song-based and great musicianship on it. And if you haven't heard it, you should actually give it a chance. And give Peace a chance too. Thank you. This band was the very first band I saw live opening up for King Crimson in 1974 in Toronto at Massey Hall. It's Golden Earring. And one of my viewers, once again, was very kind and sent me, I think, their last two albums, which I absolutely love. And I love Moontan. But I think of the albums I've heard, this is still my favorite. It's the follow-up to Moontan. And when it first came out, I was disappointed in it. I don't think it did as well as Moontan. But it's one of those albums you need to listen to a few times to really take it all in at how good it is. So yeah, Golden Earring Switch from 1975. Switching is easy. Thank you. Now this solo artist, plus of course he was in a pretty well-known band, most people would choose the previous album as their favorite, but my favorite is actually, it's a small picture here, but it is Rod Stewart with, I guess it's not going to focus that well, but it's Never a Dull Moment. With him sitting in a chair looking very, very bored. Yeah, True Blue and Mama, You've Been on My Mind, his great cover of Bob Dylan's song. Angel, a Jimi Hendrix song. You Wear It Well. I'd Rather Go Blind. Twisting the Night Away. Yeah, but I love all of his early music. And last, hopefully, I don't think I've talked about this one before in this series, but it's one of my all-time favorite prog albums. This band, I have a few albums with the original singer and with his replacement, and I enjoy them all. But this one, it's one of my all-time favorite prog albums. It's Marillion, and it was the singer Fish, his final album with them, Clutching at Straws. And he just sings with such passion on this album. And of course, the music is superb too. Yeah, so if you're a prog fan and you haven't heard Clutching at Straws, I highly recommend it. And that is it. I would love your thoughts on the albums I talked about, and also maybe talk about some more albums that you think are perfect. Thanks for watching and have a great day.